Na sceni će nam se pridružiti Lepi iz kompanije METRANS, koji će nam otkriti sve detalje o temi Evropska intermodalna železnička konekcija METRANS Panonija. Richard.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Firstly, I would like to thank you very much for the possibility to be here, to be able to present, to be able to tell you something about our company METRANS, for which I have been working for the past more than 12 years now. For the Serbian market, actually, I have been only working for approximately 1 year. And I have to say that after 1 year, I came to a conclusion that it's certainly a really, really interesting market with really, really interesting people. You are our customers. So it is my pleasure to tell you something about where it all started, where do we stand now, what are the plans for the future. So when it comes to METRANS, we have to start at the absolute top of the chain, which is company HALA, HHLA, Hamburger Hafen und Logistik AG, so shortcut HALA. HALA is the 100% owner of METRANS, or the whole METRANS group, rather. And HALA is represented by 4 segments of activities they are carrying out on a daily basis. The first one being the container or container handling. This is basically HALA operating the port or in the port of Hamburg 3 terminals, terminal CTA, CTB, and CTT. I will skip intermodal for a second. Then we have logistics, which is the special handling of cargo, like you can see dry bulk, fruit, RoRo. And then we have the real estate, as HALA is the manager of some real estate buildings within the port of Hamburg. And lastly, we have intermodal. Intermodal segment of HALA is being represented by company METRANS or METRANS Group. So, what is METRANS? Very easily explained, METRANS is a rail freight carrier, an intermodal operator of block trains, and an intermodal operator of terminals specialized in container handling or intermodal units, if you will. Company was founded in 1991, originally in Czech Republic, and later expanded in 1998/1999 in Slovakia, in the headquarters of Dunajská Streda, which is the city where I come from and where I sit also as an office. To put into perspective of how much METRANS is transporting or how much cargo we are handling for the year 2023, we are speaking about approximately 1.35 million TEU transported and 1.2 million TEU handled at our terminals. Why the number is lower? Because not all of the trains of METRANS are transiting through a METRANS terminal, so it can be to a partner terminals to METRANS. Employees, as you can see at the end of 2023, it was 2,650 people. However, at this moment we are nearing 3,000, or maybe at this moment we have already crossed the milestone of 3,000 colleagues, people. Now switching a little bit to the equipment, which is the key part of what we are doing. As I mentioned, first and foremost, we are a railway operator, but also a manager of intermodal terminals across Europe. In total, we dispose with 20 terminals in the METRANS group across Europe, 7 of which are so-called hub terminals. Now, hub terminal you can imagine as a hub connector for your USBs you are connecting to your PC. Basically what it is, those are the let's call them the bigger terminals where trains from more directions are arriving. The trains or the containers are deconsolidated into different other trains, and then are being dispatched to various other directions. As you can see, hub terminals we are operating in Austria, which is terminal Krems-an-der-Donau, Czech Republic, for example, terminal Prague or Česká Třebová, Hungary, Budapest, and Poland and Slovakia. In Slovakia, actually, it is Dunajská Streda. Now, for the end terminals are the terminals which are, I wouldn't call them smaller, but they are terminals where the trains are arriving and at the same time they are being dispatched. It doesn't have to be the same direction, can be dispatched to other direction. Important is that at these end terminals, the before mentioned the before mentioned thing that we are consolidating and deconsolidating the trains is not happening. So the trains are arriving and going away. As for the depot and the capacities, approximately 2.6 million square meters in total for these 20 terminals. As for the offices in the ports, we try to open an office in every port we are operating or we are cooperating with. For example, Hamburg, Bremerhaven, Koper, and Rijeka. Now to the second most important part of our core business, the wagons and the locomotives. As of this moment, more than 130 locomotives are being used by METRANS Group. Between these 130, you will find diesel locomotives, of course, electric hybrid locomotives, and more than 4,000 wagons. From these 4,000 wagons, again, we have many more types for every kind of container transportation which we are doing. So those types vary in size, 60 footers, 80 footers, 90 footers, but also in loading capabilities. So for example, 4 or 6 axle wagons. Repair shop is another important thing what we are offering, or rather we are doing ourselves. Container repair shops is one thing, but being able to repair your own equipment is an important part of our business. Originally established in 1940, the Deco rail repair shop became part of METRANS Group in 2007. And as of 2019, we have also opened a repair shop at the terminal in METRANS Dunajska Streda. Now, coming to the companies. As you can see, there is a lot of companies within the METRANS Group. Obviously, I'm not going to name all of them. Here, I would like to only point out that this many companies is needed because we are doing many different kinds of services. So there are companies which are responsible only for the railway traction. There are companies responsible for the operations of the terminals. And here, I would like to also draw your attention to Adria Rail, as you can see, under which belong 2 other companies, Adria Rail Operator and METRANS Panonija, about which I will speak in a minute. Now, the core business of METRANS, as I mentioned, is organization of block trains across Europe. We can divide Europe basically into 4 bigger areas where we operate. The northern region, represented by the ports of Hamburg, Bremerhaven, Wilhelmshaven. The Adriatic region, represented by the ports of Koper, Trieste, and Rijeka. Then we have the Baltic region, Gdynia and Gdansk, and we have the Black Sea region of Constanta. I'm getting to the interesting part about the trains. So, as you can see, more than 650 trains operated per week within the METRANS Group. From these, I would like to point out maybe a few connections which are the core part, and that is, for example, Hamburg. So from and to Hamburg, we are operating approximately 200 trains per week. Then we have the port of Koper operating approximately 60 trains per week, or for example, Bremerhaven, approximately 40 trains per week. On the list, you will also see the Rijeka-Ingia connection. At the moment, on the graphics, you can see 3 connections per week. However, we are now nearing of launching the 4th departure, and that's in one direction. So you have 4 departures import and 4 departures export. So Serbia, what solutions do we offer? How can we help? And what we are bringing on the table? Now you can say, and you are right, that METRANS is a relatively new player on the Serbian market. That is true. However, it is also important to mention that when entering the Serbian market, we are also bringing up more than 30 years of know-how onto the table. To mention just a few KPIs is the important things for our customers, which we know that are important for our customers, is, for example, a fixed train schedule, but at the same time being flexible enough to change this schedule, because those of you who are working with railways, you know that when there is a closure, when there is a strike, you have to be ready to change. You have to be ready to adapt to the current situation. So this is what we are offering here. Along with that, dedicated customer service only for the Serbian market, a dedicated pricing team only for the Serbian market. So the model, how we have been operating for the past 30 years in other countries across Europe, we are also bringing or trying to bring here. It's not a process for one day, of course. It's been a year since I have started to be in the picture, and so far I can confirm or can tell that we have achieved great things, and I will just in a minute also show you. So when I mentioned that we are entering the Serbian market, what did I mean by it? Beginning of 2023, the company management decided to acquire 51% of an already existing company, Adria Rail. And with that being said, we basically officially added the Rijeka-Inđija train connection to the portfolio of METRANS Group. Later, just a few weeks later, we have added on top of that, opening the Rijeka-Budapest line. Rijeka-Budapest line was an important part of this expansion because previously we have been only operating from the ports of Koper and from Trieste, and now Rijeka as the third possible option for the customers. Again, just a few weeks later, we have launched the Budapest-Inđija service. Why is this important? When you are going from Inđija to Budapest, you have basically entered the METRANS network, which means that from Budapest you are able to get to any port or to any other terminal within our network, as you have seen on the map. So this was a really, really important step. And less than a year of acquisition of 51%, once, or not once, but when you see the potential in the market, then the company management has further decided to deepen the connection to Serbia by acquiring the remaining 49. And with that being said, Adria Rail has become 100% part of METRANS Group. With the 100% came the new logo and came the new name, which was just done recently, a few weeks ago. Our Serbian subsidiary is now officially called METRANS Panonija. Moving on to August 2024, so 2 months ago, we have, I wouldn't say launch, I would say tested. So we tried out the line of Koper to Inđija directly, so without any stops like we are doing now, because as of this moment, we are going from Koper to Budapest and from Budapest to Inđija. But we have also tested the direct line from Koper to Inđija. I can confirm that it was successful. We had basically zero problems on the way, thankfully. We are now at the moment or in the stage of gathering all the information, but now that we know it works, we have tested it, we are ready to launch this service sometime next year if everything goes okay. And let's speak about the more recent or the most recent development, which is that even in this moment, the construction works are running at the terminal of Inđija. We are adding approximately 15,000 square meters additional place for the handling of containers. And we hope to have it finished approximately middle of December or end of year. And as for 25 and 26, we have also some news to add on the table. Specifically, we would like to add further rail tracks to the terminal and also switching of handling the containers from hand reach stackers to crane handling, which further confirms the environmental policy of METRANS. Now back to the rail connections. This is what I have meant when I said that with entering Budapest, you can reach basically any of the terminals or any of the ports within the group. Here we have highlighted just the most frequently asked for. So as you can see, from Budapest, you can go to Hamburg, Bremerhaven, Wilhelmshaven, Rotterdam, Koper, Rijeka, any port or any terminal which is suitable both for maritime cargo as well as for continental cargo. Okay. This is a little bit of an off-topic when I have been speaking about Serbia for the past few minutes, but I thought it would be a good idea to also mention a little bit Turkey. Why? Because we are receiving more and more demands to connect Turkey with Serbia, And the fact that we are transiting through Serbia when we are going from Istanbul to Dunajska Streda terminal gives us the possibility to eventually stop the train in India if it's needed, if it's requested. We have tested it, we have tried it, so this is also a possibility. As of this moment, we are operating 2 trains per week from Halkali, Istanbul to Dunajska Streda, again opening the METRANS network. And for this service, we are also providing the 45-foot pallet-wide high cube containers, which are the equivalent of a trailer, basically. All right, moving on. I know this topic has been discussed a lot, especially today, but when you go to a conference, there is always one of the 2 topics, if not both of them, being discussed, and one is digitalization, the second is CO2 neutrality. Again, I can inform or confirm that by 2040 is the date when METRANS would like to become completely CO2 neutral. Until that day, we are basically already doing everything that can be done in this way. For example, since 21, we are using only green electricity in Germany and Austria, despite the fact that we have the option to buy non-green electricity. We decided to go for the green. We are using modern hybrid locomotives. We have electric storage crane systems in the ports, etc., etc. And more importantly, or most importantly, we are offering a product so-called HalaPure. What is HalaPure? HalaPure is a TÜV Nord certified program through which we, as METRANS, as Hala, can guarantee you and certify with an official certificate that your containers are being transported completely CO2 neutral. How it works? Imagine a train. Imagine a train coming from Hamburg to Dunajska Streda. When you are going the last section from Bratislava to Dunajska Streda, the line is not electrified. So we have to use diesel. When you are using a diesel, you are releasing CO2. So how can it be zero? The answer is, I wouldn't say easy, but the answer is quite simple. It's being done through an offset compensation method, which means that for each railway line we are transporting or using, we have an exact calculation how many CO2 or how many kilograms of CO2 we are producing, and in the same amount or more, we are investing in gold standard environmental friendly products, which on the other hand save the CO2. Last time, for example, it was investment in Turkey in wine mills. So we know how many CO2 the wine mills are saving for us, and we are buying the CO2 which we are producing back. As mentioned, we can certify this CO2 neutrality for our customers. It comes with a really nice certificate, and the program is very versatile. So if you are interested in certifying only, for example, the port of Hamburg, that is possible. If you are interested in certifying all of your containers through all of the network, that is also possible. So if you have a question, please feel free to contact us. And with that being said, thank you very much for the attention. In case you have any question, you will find me somewhere between the coffee and the snacks. So once again, thank you very much.